This is Grocery Talks with food distribution guys Richard Baker, where we provide food manufacturers with a greater understanding of Canada's grocery sector. And now, here's our host, Richard Baker.
Today, I'm pleased to be joined on the line by Mr. Mark Lehberg, President of Latitudes Marketing by Design. Welcome, Mark, and thank you for your time.
Hi, Richard. How are you doing?
Well, excellent. Yourself?
Very good, thanks.
Mark, could you just please provide us with a brief overview of Latitudes Marketing by Design?
Yeah, we're a design studio. We do everything you'd expect a design studio to do: brochures, catalogs, logos, brand identity, websites. But what we do the most is retail packaging, and we do it we do a great deal of work in packaging in the food and beverage industry.
Interesting. So let's talk briefly about the packaging, given that's your key service. So why is the brand's packaging so important today?
Well, when we walk down the aisle of a grocery store, I mean, we're bombarded with visuals of all kinds of products and promotions, and we need to find a way to make your product stand out. So if we can develop a brand where people see recognizable elements in the packaging, or if they buy one of your products and they like it, then they want to see something else that you make, that you have to have a brand that encompasses a range of products. So once you establish loyalty with a certain product, it extends across your whole brand.
Yep, exactly. Okay. So what do you feel are, to anyone that's creating a new package today for a new product, what do you feel are the three keys to a successful brand package?
I think you have to create trust, and you do that by giving quality products. Like, you don't want to promise a superior product and deliver a mediocre product. So if you're going to claim it's a great product, it has to be a great product. You also don't want to copy your competitor's design. You're competing with them, yes, but you don't want to be a copy of them. So you have to be very careful not to say, oh, well, they use red, so let's use red also. That's just a cheap way to get attention, and it's not going to get you any loyalty. You're just going to confuse the consumer. And the other thing is if you can build up loyalty, you can build up trust. And once you build up trust and loyalty in one product, it can extend to the next product you make. So it's very important.
You also want that brand packaging to emulate the image that you're trying to portray for your brand.
Yeah. Also, you don't want to have an image on your package that people look at and say, wow, that looks great. And then they open up the product and it's something different, or Correct. It doesn't have that same right. Wow effect.
Yeah. So it's my understanding, we've talked about you do create packaging labels. So why should an international business employ your services rather than a firm from their own country?
Well, there's many reasons. I mean, I can tell you, we do great design, but say you're an importer and you bring your products in from Spain. I'm sure there's great designers in Spain who do great packaging, but the problem is that every market is different. Every market has certain things that consumers are looking for that are different here than they may be in your native market. Also, there are legalities that have to go on a package that are different in every region. So what you might put on a package in the US or in Europe, you might have to express it differently in a package in Canada. Not just to make things bilingual here, but there are many requirements that the Canada Food Inspection Agency requires on packaging that a foreign designer might not be aware of.
So let's just talk about that for a second. So let's say, what's one element that that has to be different between, let's say, a package that's in Canada to a package that's going to be sold in the United States?
Okay, well, for instance, every package we have the net content, it's 60 grams, for instance. There are regulations in the US and Canada that tell you how big the numeral 60 needs to be. And there's a formula that you calculate based on the size of your package. And the formula in the US and the formula in Canada are similar process, but the calculation is different. So what may be acceptable in a US package for the size of the 60 milliliters or the number 60 is different in Canada. And you may find that you've made a mistake in the sense that you haven't followed Canadian regulations, because they are different. And the worst thing people will say, well, who's going to check? Who's going to know if I'm a quarter inch smaller? The people are going to check are the worst people you want, because the government doesn't go out there and inspect every package. The worst person's going to inspect it is your competitor. Your competitor is going to look at it on the shelf, and if he thinks it's non-compliant, he's going to report you to the CFIA. That's Correct. The worst person you want looking at your package.
Exactly.
It's your competitor.
What do you think of the misconceptions brands have about Canada's packaging laws?
Many people will say, well, it just needs to be in 2 languages. Well, beyond that, I mean, we do need to have bilingual packaging, but the regulations are different depending what province you're selling it in. Quebec has different regulations than the rest of Canada. So you have to know where you're selling and you have to make sure you follow the regulations.
Interesting. So what's the differentiation? Let's say right now, let's say that if I just want to sell it in Quebec to, I want to sell it across Canada. What would be one issue that would arise?
Quebec says you need to translate everything on the package, front, back, sides. It all has to be translated in 2 languages, English and French, of equal prominence. In the rest of the country, all you have to translate is the product name and the quantity.
Okay.
All the marketing text does not need to be translated. So
Right.
say you take the easier way out and you translate it for the rest of the country, but then you have a chain that picks it up and wants to bring it into Quebec. You then need to do it again. So we always advise clients to follow the more stringent Quebec regulations, because then you're guaranteed to be acceptable across the country.
That's an excellent point. That is an excellent point to remind people. So what differentiates Latitudes from other packaging firms across the country?
Well, what we spoke about, I mean, we feel we do great design, and I'm sure there's a lot of companies out there that do great packaging design also, but we understand the Canadian market and what you need to do to have your package accepted and noticed on the shelf in Canada. We're a Canadian company. We work in Canada, and we can make sure your package is compliant across the country.
And so, Mark, for any firm that's looking to create a product packaging label right now, what's the best way to make contact with you?
Best way is to go to our website, which is latitudes.ca, latitudes.ca, and just go to the contact page. Our phone number is there, our email, WeChat, WhatsApp, anywhere you want to contact us, you can find us.
Well, thank you again, Mark, for being our guest today.
Hey, Richard, thank you for having me. Great to talk to you.
And if you're a food manufacturer seeking distribution in Canada's grocery sector, please visit our website, www.fooddistributionguy.com. Thanks again, Mark.
Thanks, Richard. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.